called the Helpline. Let me introduce my next guest, a drummer who has played with the best, such as Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Marie Presley, but it's his story of overcoming poverty that's going to inspire you who are feeling beaten down by life's circumstances. Before Zoro comes out, I want you to take a look at this.
Known as the Minister of Groove, Zoro has been a world-famous drummer for over 20 years.
When I'm really feeling it, I'm just worshiping God.
He's played with Lenny Kravitz, Bobby Brown, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, The New Edition, Lisa Marie Presley, and more. Zoro is also the author of the best-selling book and DVD, The Commandments of R&B Drumming.
God is the creator of the groove, and my gift comes from God. So when I'm at the pinnacle of my playing and I'm really reaching the deepest pocket, my groove is just an extension of my praise towards the Lord.
Along the way to rock and roll superstardom, he's kept his eyes focused, preaching the gospel to all within the music world and beyond.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Zoro.
God bless you. Hey, I got a gift for you.
Oh, do you?
I need a pair of my signature sticks. This is my weapon of warfare. I'm putting it in your hands.
Thank you
we
very
need to see
much.
you play some drums.
I receive it. I won't guarantee you that I'll play drums, but I'll guarantee I'll use them as weapons of spiritual warfare that we both know how to do so well.
That's what they are.
God bless you for being here.
Thank you.
I have been absolutely amazed reading your testimony, listening to your CD and your DVD, and reading about you in national magazines. I'm telling you, I said to myself, Lord, what am I going to ask this man?
Whatever you want, whatever you want to talk about.
I know that God has given to you a great testimony, and I'd like you to tell us and share that testimony with us. I know it goes back to your youth, and I know that it goes back to the environment, the circumstances that you found yourself in, poverty-stricken.
It's like what you were saying earlier. I heard you talking about circumstances. I mean, my message is really one about overcoming circumstances. My whole life is an example of how God can help anyone overcome the circumstances they come from, and how he can place a dream in your heart when you're a little boy, and if you refuse to give up that dream, he can make it come true. And so my thing that I like to encourage, I'm here to encourage people.
Please.
I'm here to encourage people
Just
about...
take your liberty.
I
think the first thing that people want to know, and I know you're not going to answer me directly, but is Zoro your real name?
No, it is not. But
I won't ask you what your real name is, because I know you... Huh?
That's good.
Because I know you won't give it
to you.
I'm already armed for that.
But you know, it's just something that happened. My mother, when I was a young boy, we went to Mexico City on a family trip, and I bought a Spanish matador hat that looked like Zorro, and she said, you should call yourself Zorro because you always have a heart for the people like Zorro did. And so it became sort of a spiritual mantle. The Lord made me to be someone like a Paul or a Barnabas. I have the spirit of an encourager, a motivator, and I've been doing it since I was born. But I want to encourage people, because I know there's lots of people out there,
millions
that feel like, well, what's my purpose? What's my point in my life? And I don't know if I have achieved anything or I can. And I'm here to tell you, I'm living proof that God is in the business of restoration, and that God is in the business of fulfilling purposes and dreams. He has helped me to fulfill my dreams, but there's been purpose in it. When you do the Father's business and you make His business your business, there's purpose in everything you do. When I play the drums, it's not just to play the drums with famous people just to entertain people. There's purpose in it. I'm a warrior on my instrument. I'm breaking the bondages of hell, and I'm releasing heaven through my instrument, because it's warfare. But the whole story of my life is just one of overcoming the obstacles and the circumstances.
Tell us some of those obstacles and some of those circumstances. You were one of 7 children?
One of 7, and I had an awesome mother, a single mother who raised all 7 of us.
Single mother?
Single mother, yeah. We grew up in many different districts of Los Angeles, Compton, all over, Lakewood, Downey.
What's this business of you moving 30 different times?
Or more.
Or more.
We just, when I was young, we moved all over the place because in those days, if you lived in an apartment building and you had more than 4 kids, they'd kick you out. So she would say, oh, we have 4, and then eventually they'd see, oh, there's 5, 6, 7, and they'd say, oh, you have to move. And we'd literally move down the street. I'd use my red radio flyer wagon, put the dresser on there, the bed, and we'd move down a mile down the road to the next place. But all of that gave me...
So these are some of the things that you're talking about when you talk about overcoming.
Overcoming everything, overcoming rejection. I had a father who left me. So, and many people who are fatherless, and this is a very fatherless generation, people are trying to overcome rejection in their life, and it's a huge thing. And
but I heard they call you now today a father to the fatherless.
And I love that because the greatest joy in my whole life is being a father. I have my children with me here today. My son is 8, his name is Jared. My little girl is 5, her name is Jordan. And if you met them, you would see how God has restored.
You should have brought them out on the set.
Oh, well, we can find them and bring them out here. And then you'll see what God is able to do, because I came from a broken family. I came from an impoverished family, and I came from a family where just none of these dreams that I've been able to live seem possible. But that just shows me how awesome God is, because God, if He has a willing heart, He can do anything with a willing heart. If you refuse to believe the lies of the enemy, and you will believe God,
that's a key.
That's the key, see, because the things that I'm doing now are things that I held on to 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
Started when you were, what, 5 years of age?
Yeah.
Mama gave you a little Mickey Mouse
drum set.
Drum set?
Yeah, she gave me from the Sears catalog, you know, a little Mickey Mouse drum set that I destroyed in one day because it was made of paper heads and it lasted only Christmas Day. But the dream was in there. And my mother, one of the things she was an encourager, so she always taught me to believe in the Lord and that with God all things were possible. And I want to encourage people that if God has a purpose and a plan for every single person on the earth. The enemy also has a plan to stop that plan.
I believe that.
But if you learn to move by faith and not look at the circumstances.
But how do people do that? It's so easy, you know, for preachers to say those words, but then to bring them down to where the rubber meets the road, where those people that are going through these incredible circumstances that are watching Helpline right now, how do we tell them how to do that?
Trust God. If you keep your eyes fixed on Jesus and keep your eyes fixed on what God can do, not what you can do, but what He can do to take you through the circumstance, He will lead you out of every single one of those circumstances and situations. And I've gone through a tremendous amount of different battles in my life, but He's led me out of every single one, and He's taken me from glory to glory, and He's restored the brokenness in me and the broken heart. And just, God is awesome. He's real.
This is a plaque that I'm giving to the people just, I think, for the next week or two as they are writing for the book on why do the righteous suffer. And since you talked about don't looking at the circumstances, I want to give you this.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. No, that means a lot to me. Thank you, guys. And that's the whole key, is to live by faith. See, God is not impressed with fear. Fear doesn't impress God. If you look throughout the Bible, one of the things He says the most is do not fear, do not fear, do not fear, because fear allows the enemy to navigate your life, and faith activates God and the heavenly angels. So I live by faith, even when I don't understand what's coming. I say, Lord, this looks like all hell's falling apart here. My whole world's falling apart. But you are the one who can lead me through this. And God has led me through every single battle and every single journey, and He's proved Himself to be faithful. And the things that He spoke in my heart 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that He said He would do in my life, He has done. Even this TV show. 5 years ago, the Lord spoke to my heart as I'm going to open up media to you all over the world. Now, it wasn't happening then. So I could have chose to say, well, it doesn't look like this is going to happen now. But I said, okay, Lord, according to your word, you spoke it to my heart. I will believe you and I'll trust you. It's not for me to know how it's going to be done. It's for me to just obey daily. Whatever God tells you to do today, people, whatever it is He's putting on your heart this moment, this day, just obey it. Most people want to know step 100 before they take step 1. If you just take step 1 in faith, He will reveal to you